Hey guys, sorry we're a little late. Technical issues and a little tardiness, and you know how Google works. Well, I have the wonderful Michelle back with us, and I'll let her tell a little bit about what's going on with her while I pull up the live chat, and we're on.
And
Yay!
cover.
And doesn't cover.
Hi guys. What's going on? Well, currently for me, a thunderstorm right now. So just started like 10 minutes before we connected there. So yeah. And running a little late as always, because I'm completely losing track of time with everything, which is great. I don't mind that at all. So yeah, and having to pull my head up from just a flood of creative ideas just coming in, and the different things I want to make and do and try, and so I'd be busy squirreling away at that.
Squirreling away. That's the way of putting it. That's what you feel like. Squirrel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Going nuts.
Things are just going
Yeah.
on like
But
crazy.
you've had a crazy, you've had a busy week, probably a lot to be taking, if you've been feeling the energies that have been coming in too. So,
And being unplugged, and spending that time with just them, with my parents, not being online, not having the distractions, being able to do what I needed to do, probably helped me out a lot with going into a hospital where everybody's not feeling well. And, we pull that stuff onto ourselves, and then we've got to, filter it out of us. But without the distractions of, I had minimal computer access last week. And by having that minimal computer access, I was able to ground out better, take a little nap, and pull things out of me that I was picking up, to the point of symptoms that I was picking up from, other people in there. Not only because I'm completely linked in with my mother, of course, she would be right there in my circle, with the loops that go around us that affect one another. And then my uncle, and oh my God, Michelle, it's been just chaos. But they recovered absolutely amazing. Before we get into the energy, you guys, my parents, who are very, very camera shy, and I tried to share this with you guys on Saturday, but I drove the 4 hours home, took care of my mom and everything I needed to do in the morning, drove 4 hours home, tried to go ahead and do the live call-in show for you guys, and I was too tired. I couldn't even work the technology. Just 1 week away, Michelle, it was like I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing.
yeah.
But I have a little clip that I took of my mom to show you guys how awesome. Let me pull it up for you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let her overlay me and just play it for you. And I have one of my daddy too. So I hope you guys can hear it. I turned the sound on for them. So let's let them play. Which way do I need to go? Didn't she look great? I hope they could hear her. I'm not over in the chat area, Michelle.
Oh, I think let me pull it up on my iPad so I can help you keep an eye.
So I don't know if they can, and I should have moved the camera out of the way, because there I am sitting in the middle of them. But
monkey in the middle.
Hold on, they said they couldn't hear her.
I couldn't hear anything.
Hold on a minute. Let's see. Mom, she should be piped through my headphones. I turned her on. Hold on. Do I have anything muted? No. No. So you couldn't hear my mommy? Well, that's a bummer. Let's see if you can hear my dad. Wait. Move this away. I
April
hope
said she
so.
Oh no, she can't hear it. Sorry.
So they could
Mom looks great.
can hear you, but not you could hear me talking, but
Couldn't hear the video. No.
couldn't hear the video.
No.
I may have to re-upload it, but this is the one of my dad. And let me move me out of the way there so you can see my dad. And my parents. I just love my parents. Okay. Now let's move me back up. Where am I? Too many things, too many buttons for me to push down here, guys. If you guys couldn't hear them, what I'll do is I'll re-upload them because I had to shut my computer down. So, and Michelle, you're still here, right?
I'm here.
You're here, okay.
I'm just chilling.
Just chilling. But
I'm picking up the chat on the iPad so I can see too.
You got to realize that, you know, on Tuesday, she was under sedation. It was only supposed to be a 3-hour surgery, but it was a major surgery. Okay, don't get me wrong. But she ended up having to be under sedation for 4.5 hours. And anybody that's had surgery knows how daunting that is on your system to have that much medication flooded into you, excuse me, to keep you unconscious that long. And then, you know, of course, I looked exhausted, but I'm pulling, you know, it's just the way that it works for us. We pull it onto us and we pull what we can handle. And then we repurpose it and send it back out. So without the distractions and stuff, although I looked tired, I was there to do my job, you know, and obviously you guys could see I look better now. And you saw my mom. She looked absolutely wonderful, up on her feet, wanted to put her makeup on. And I will put it back in there where you guys can hear her voice. She's just, yeah. So that's what's been going on in my world. Now, Michelle, I know I missed, you know, as being out of pocket, I missed everything that's going on with everybody last week. So fill me on what's going on and what's going on with the energies and what are you getting on the planetary since the July 19th and the Mars thing and, you know all
what?
this.
Like I said, I've been filling notebooks. So, and I've been working on more videos too. I'm finally, it's pretty cool, guys. I'm almost done my symptoms video, and I've done all the artwork myself that'll be in the backgrounds, and I'm editing and putting it together. So I'm really having a lot of fun with that, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy the results. So the one that should be coming out first that I'm doing is about the symptoms. So I already really broke a lot of this down and put some pretty distinct notes together. So if you bear with me a second, I have no problem sharing.
Share away, Michelle. Share away.
Find the page and the right notebook.
Hey,
Okay.
It does seem like time is either going super fast or super slow, or like I lost track of time, days. I didn't know how long I was down there. They were asking me if I needed to do laundry, and I'm looking at my clothes like, but they're all clean.
Get laundry?
Yeah, but I was changing every day, but all my clothes, it was weird.
I know.
Weird stuff was going on, but weird in a good way. Like, nope, don't need to worry about that. You got that covered. You know, you got other things to take care of.
I literally did feel like at sometimes, like, you know, when you wake up from like a really deep, real dream, and before you open your eyes, you could be anywhere. Like, you don't know, like right when you open your eyes, that you're definitely in your room. It's sort of this feeling like you know, it could be anywhere for a minute till it really kind of clicks in. And I'm noticing now it takes longer for that to click in. You know, sometimes when it's really thick like that, even when you do you know, start to open your eyes and you're looking around, you're like, okay, you're trying to you're trying to place what you're seeing with what you know. And I've been really experiencing that, like lucidly awake, because you know, so if I'm working on something like my artwork, I'm heads down, you know, right into it. And you know, before looking up or anything, or looking at a clock, I'll have that moment where I realize I have no idea whether it's night or day or like, you
Mhm.
know, what time it could be. So it's like that feeling is um, spreading. And when I'm really in that, you know, creative flow of things, it really feels like it could be anytime, anywhere. Um, you know, before I actually look and see. And I've had a few moments where it was feeling like, you know, I'm not even sure if it's nighttime or daytime. And it
Right.
sounds crazy.
I do that too. Like when I'll take like a nap and I will lose track. Is it morning or is it night? And I'll
Yeah,
wake up and it's the evening. I'll be like, what? Wait, what? You know, yeah.
yeah, like that. You know what? Yeah, exactly. When you have a nap and you wake up from the nap and you've slept so deeply and like done so, that you think you're late for work.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like you
Right.
slept in for where you're so messed up and you're like, oh my God, you know, what's going on? Yeah, that, you know, that before could be anything. So that's been really an interesting feeling that again is sort of merging and blending with the uh, uh, building nostalgia remembrance feeling, and whether or not that is attached to dream experiences or memory experiences is starting to blur too.
So do you feel like, I mean, this is how I feel anyways, that things are intensified.
I
Like
definitely.
we're no longer in grade school anymore, not even high school. It is you know, the what we're feeling, what's going on with us, it's a
What
make
I'm
us or break us.
physically, what I am physically feeling. And I can only speak for myself. So, you know, people say, whoa, I'm feeling the energies. I don't, you know, that could mean so many things, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm. Of
that's why I try to share as many specific things on, you know, my own experience.
course.
So you guys share in that development and that process too, right? And it helps give you affirmations. And then, you know, with other people sharing more specifically what it is they're feeling and experiencing. Like, is it just a thought process, or are you experiencing actual physical sensations? Are you seeing and hearing things differently? So yeah, and I think that we're all different and varied in that. um, so it's getting really good, and I want to hear everybody else's stories too, of how
Absolutely.
how this
Yes.
how they're feeling this, what, you know, what it is that you're
Oh,
experiencing.
you're looking through your notebook on your notes on all your endeavors. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here
Oh,
talking
that's
away with
okay.
you, and
That's
you're
okay. I
actually
found
going
it.
through your notebook. I'm sorry, Michelle.
My color coded notebooks.
It's okay. That's good. But
No, that's
I want to
fine.
share on that because you're right. It's so individual. And we feel things differently and we have different things going on. One of the sensations that I felt last week was it was the day that my mom was going to possibly come home. She did a quick turnaround from the day that she had the surgery to just Wednesday. And immediately I got this intense heartburn. Like I thought I was having a heart attack. I couldn't breathe. And we were supposed to, my dad and I, see if we could get her up into the chair to sit up and eat, which she was on liquid diet, but to be able to, you know, if we could move her, you know, in order for her to come home to make sure she had the proper care at home. Well, it was about 30 minutes before dinner was coming, and it was so intense. I mean, so intense, Michelle. I had to leave the hospital. I grabbed a couple pillows, tried to put them up against me. I thought I couldn't breathe. I'd never felt anything like that before. And
So you see heartburn and
I,
stuff.
it
So
was,
what were you feeling physically, and where was it located?
well, let me finish let me
Yeah.
finish. And you're going to be like, what? Because
Oh, okay.
that's what I was like, what? So
Yeah.
I left the hospital and I went and I told my dad, I said, I've got to go back to your place. So I needed to clear. I needed to clear all that out. I picked up too much when I was there. But I ended up falling asleep. I ate some Tums and I fell asleep, with which I was feeling there's no way I could have fell asleep with that. But then when I woke up to the phone ringing, and I felt like I was falling backwards and then whoop, back straight up into my
Yes.
body. Is like whoop,
The
and
slip.
it was my mom calling, saying she was on her way home. Well,
Mm.
Friday night, we went to go check on my uncle, who ended up in the hospital emergency room the same day. Well, his symptoms, which brought him to the hospital, was exactly what I was complaining of. And he said he couldn't sleep, and it's been upticking and upticking for him over the past several months. So if you lose sleep, you start losing memory, and things don't go right for you, you know. So I got a taste, and we went to his place. Now I described it to my dad what I was feeling, and he said, "Just go back to our place. This is where the Tums are." Blah blah blah. When he was with me when we went to check on my uncle, and when he described his symptoms, they were the exact same symptoms I had just spontaneously come upon me. And it was as my mom was becoming more aware, she takes care of him. She started worrying more about him. I'm linked to her, she's linked to him. We're all linked in together. And I felt that intense pain that he was in that brought him into the hospital, that it was causing him not to have any sleep. Ooh, I'll tell. And if I wasn't there to hear my uncle say it, and my dad, you know, I'm just looking at my dad like, holy cow, what just happened? If I wouldn't have experienced it myself, I would not have believed it. But apparently, while I was, you know, there with her, we absorbed this. She was doing great. The more alert she got, she started worrying about him. Then I absorbed that, because this was the day that she could have come home. But anyways, on with your notebook.
Oh, well, I'll explain to you what was causing that. What day was that on?
That was the day my mom came home from the hospital.
What day of the week? The Saturday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. Because a lot of people are going to experience that same thing because of the solar wind, the CME. So you can go to a great website, or not website. He has a channel. He probably has a website too, called Suspicious Observers, and he gives you all the information about how the sun's energies affect us. So, and this is why we're receiving so much of this energy. Our magnetosphere is thinning a lot of the same energies that it used to. So these energies that are coming in are the things that are actually changing us as part of that. But it also has a lot of those symptoms too. And
it's gone. I don't have it anymore, but
yeah.
It's weird.
But it can produce those symptoms. So a lot of hospitals would be dealing with more people complaining of those symptoms.
Without anything,
with the anxiety and heartburn, they may think that they're going to have a heart attack. It can cause a lot of symptoms that are very similar to that, or it can lead to heart attacks as well with some people. So that's been picking up through the week, and I think that's a great example. It shows you how it actually can physically affect us.
And his appendix perforated and was leaking into his system. So he was on blood thinners. So they couldn't even do the surgery on him until midnight. They had to wait for the blood thinners to clear his body enough. So then he had to have one of those bags to drain the poison out of him. So he actually was in the hospital. He didn't come home from the hospital till Friday. So we went and seen him Friday night. He looks great.
I think I misunderstood then. You really were feeling that you were experiencing possibly what he was experiencing because of your connection.
because of my mom, as my mom was becoming more
Yeah.
aware, she
Okay.
was worried about
Yeah.
him, and
And
I was there working with her,
and you're
and
picking up on that energy, and that's how
and
it got in because they're in your little bubble in
it
the house.
dominoed me. It was too
Oh,
much.
okay. I was thinking too
Her
that
surgery was
combo
enough,
coming in.
you
Like I
know.
understood
Plus,
that you could be picking up on what he was feeling for sure too, but
it
um,
was weird just to hear the exact same symptoms. It was like, what? But
mm,
I'm not, my appendix is not ruptured. I'm
right.
totally fine. I'm totally fine. But that's why I look so tired in those videos. I mean,
Mm,
people don't understand that, when we're doing this stuff, we're actually, and then we repurpose it. We take it, basically. It's almost like a way of taking something, lifting the load, helping somebody out, and then you release it back out, but you've got to release it out properly, because you
right.
don't want to just take it and throw it back out in any direction, because it can cause
Yeah,
disruptions.
you have to recognize that it needs transmuting, not
Yes,
awareness. Yes,
yes.
yes, yeah.
That's what I
Not
did
just
when I went to
yeah,
sleep, because
yeah.
I
Seal
was
the deal.
resolving it. And when I got the phone call, that's why I had that falling back feeling, and then whoop, and I was like, back. It was amazing. But
Hmm.
I'm learning as I go. But I was, but being in a hospital, it's hard on any of us. Just a heads up, guys, everybody, being in the hospital with your empathetic heart, you're going to feel things very intensely, and just discern what's yours and what's not. And, do not take this for medical or professional. Always seek your doctor if something is going on with you. I knew I did not need a doctor. Actually, I was afraid as I was trying to walk out that they were going to put me in a chair and bring me back in. So I was trying to, even though I couldn't breathe, I'm sure I was white as a ghost, and I was in so much heart pain, and it just felt like I drank acid and I was having a heart attack. No, ma'am, you're going the wrong direction. You need to go in this way, not out the hospital. Come back in. It was like I was trying to make my escape. Excuse me. But I think, was it you that said that there was a bunch of people that went into the hospital all at the same time, suffering the same symptoms, but then they all went away? It was heart palpitations or something, and the
Well,
doctors
that's
couldn't
what
come up.
I don't know if I was the one that told a story about that, but that's definitely symptoms that occur. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Heart palpitation. Sorry, guys. I had messages coming up there bleeping at me. So, yeah, that's all heart palpitations. But we feel that. But that I think too. There's a whole like always say there's layers to everything.
Of
There's
course.
definitely a lot of
And it's,
heart flip flopping around.
and she's right. Michelle's right when she says things will, even though, and I've been talking to Liera too, things, we do work in the ether, but it's going to come out in our natural, just like as we get our house in order in the micro, it reflects around us in the macro. So, that's why it's so important we get our house in order, because until we get our house in order, we really can't do the work to help other people or do our jobs efficiently. What we're going to do is just pick up everything and hold on to it, and we'll make ourselves sick. So we got to, repurpose it and transmute it, send it back out, and it comes out in a variety of ways. And she's coming on tomorrow, you guys, 4 o'clock. We're having a launch party, so look forward to that. But today's all about Michelle. So, hey, wait, that's my name too,
Yeah, yeah.
Michelle and Michelle. And together we're Michelle and Shell. You can tell I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, I bet you are. Nice to be home from that long week, right?
Yes, and she looks so good.
And start to rejuvenate yourself now, right? Make sure
Yes.
you're getting the rest, the
And
naps and the
the
rest.
amazing people that, culminate here are just so beautiful and so loving. So that helps a lot too. We're one big happy family.
Mhm. So let's take a look. I did. Okay, I'll read off of a couple things, anyways. So some sensations: feeling electric charges or reacting to holding electronics or metal. Increased static charge, or even feeling electric currents in the body, most particularly the hands and the feet. Along with that, there's also some sort of sharp. Let me see what the feet I wrote. some sharp jolts sometimes, or spasms. There's a lot of different muscle spasms and twitches.
Hey, Michelle, check
Mhm.
this. Are you able to see the chat? Irma Linda 101, she said, this is actually a good technique. She said to ground myself physically, tap the floor saying ground in my mind. Just, because that helps you clear your mind and ground out at the same time. She said it works for her. That's wonderful. That's I'm going to try and see what's going on in the chat. You go on. I just thought I would, bring that up to you, and because that is, we're talking about grounding and stuff, and that's
I think
really good. Everybody needs to have different tools in their toolbox. What works for them will work.
I think developing your own mantra, in particular, really helps develop that practice, and create the habit, where you find when you're, your mind's going off in a direction, especially right now. It's, if you have a little sort of affirmation or habit or mantra, like that, which taps the floor or does a little thing that can really help bring you back. And then the recognition is so much quicker when you do need the grounding, when you feel yourself drifting away from that into distracting thoughts. So that's a big thing that's coming up right now. Yeah, is about the distracted thoughts. Good. So, okay, so the ears, the ringing is definitely still increasing in pitch. It's coming in a very loud, high tones at some times, and in like sudden bursts. There's also an increased pressure awareness, heat, vibration, itching, and people experiencing leaking or feeling like sweating in the ears, which is really could be kind of the same thing. But definitely for myself personally is a real increase in the pressure in the ear canal, the ringing, the layers of tones, the bursts that come in, and really feeling like the vibration within the ear. So I'm feeling, even just talking about it, it feels like, sometimes feels like cotton batting got stuffed in my ears. It's still like, it's a really strange feel. Or earplugs. That's what it feels like sometimes, like the pressure of having a spongy earplug in. There was a lot of nausea last week, starting last weekend, and through the week with stomach upset and vomiting, gas moving around for a lot of people. And I think really it's all the adjustments of the first, second, and third chakra that we've really been working with to now ground into the heart chakra. So, grounding, I hope should be a practice now that you're grounding from the heart, not from your first chakra anymore, because those we want to pull up and then ground from there. So if you're still thinking or focusing about those lower chakras in meditation, focus on bringing that energy up and then grounded to your either your heart chakra or your high heart chakra now at this point, okay? And then from there, grounded, blasted up through the heart chakra, the throat, to really, speak that authenticity and sovereignty, and up through here. And then this is where you really start to feel things blowing. That the energy almost feels like it's blowing out, with the vibrations and the pressure, and the sinuses can really kick in too. So
there's blockages. Yeah, people will have sinus issues and things like that. Yep.
Yeah. Well, not even. It's not even blockages. It's the increased energy awareness for me in particular. I find that causes an increased sensation of the energy in my head. It's hard to say. So, and the connections that go to my third eye, the connections now that go from, like those pitches are ringing. It's not just, it's hearing energy in a different way, seeing energy in a different way, and perceiving it and digesting it in a different way. It's like becoming aware physically of a new set of senses and feeling their presence. So my best effort on describing that. So, but eyes. So there's some changing colors in the eyes, lightening of eyes. People seeing geometric
That's
shapes
been going
in their
on for
eyes.
a while, hasn't it? With
Mhm.
the first, we seen the rings around the outer, where the color, you get the dark ring, and then they get the like a gold, like
Yes.
mine's got these gold flecks coming out, and then sometimes my pupil itself looks almost digitally like it's not round, it's more digitally look is a way to
Pixelated.
explain it. Yeah, yes, and with me wearing glasses, it's real hard to look at my pupil.
That's
So what
right.
I did was I took a magnifying glass and I looked at it in the mirror really close, and that's what it looked. It went back to round, but it for a little while would go like a pixelated, like an octagon looking thing, and I was like, "What?"
I just got an idea. If you have a good phone, like with a good camera,
Take
um,
a oh,
take
take a
a, but without
picture.
the flash, and take a close up because you can zoom right in and really get a look at your eye color. I'm gonna do that after we're
Nice.
done.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I am
Yeah,
gonna do that.
one of the pieces of artwork. I called it Iris. Like I'm doing on the computer now. It's a whole new way to draw for me. And these are the backgrounds that I'm doing for my videos. So, and one of them I'm doing is Iris, and it's just like big, all the colors going through the eye, just zoomed up. So, yeah, I'll have to give that a try. Take a picture of my own eye and see what I see. Because people are talking about some
Nice.
really interesting things they're seeing in their eyes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. See, you're catching me up. Okay, good. Because I've been kind of like I
Yeah.
said, well, I heard about the eye thing a while ago, but when you unplug for a week, a lot happens with other people, and I know what's happened with myself, but I want to hear what's going on with everybody else too, including
Mhm.
everybody. I want to know. I've missed everybody, and I want to know what's going on.
Mhm.
What's the changes? So yeah.
Yeah, well, I take a look at a lot of different chats and everything, just kind of a lot of different things. My own channel, my clients that I'm doing readings for, right? So a lot of different avenues, and I try to find these common, interesting experiences that people don't even. Some of them don't even realize what they're, what they're explaining, which is always interesting too. Especially, I could be new clients, that are just there for the tarot readings, but don't really know about ascension, right? So they don't realize these things that are going on. So that happens a lot, and that's really interesting. So people really changing their vision is really changing as to what they can see for the energy, especially when outside, especially when looking at the sky. And there's seeing grids. I know I am sparkles. The sparkles moving around. A lot of people talking about that more and more, and being able to see them move around in the
Have you
pattern.
seen glitter on your hands yet, Michelle? Your glittery hands?
Not that I've noticed.
Hmm.
No,
Okay.
no, I haven't noticed that. Well, in pictures, yes, because I'll see even the color that comes, like the color that comes
Or
off of
look around your
it.
fingernails, and this goes for you guys too. Look around your fingernail beds and stuff, and like in the sunlight, especially, you'll see them kind of sparkle.
Mhm.
It's really kind of neat but
Yeah,
odd.
in the sunlight, maybe. Yeah,
And she's right. Though, as our eyes are changing, we're
Mm-hmm.
becoming more observant. Then we're able to see things that probably have always been there. We just weren't able to see it yet. And it's different. We're changing. It's amazing. Okay, go on,
Yeah,
Michelle.
that's the interesting thing is there's real physical changes, and I literally feel those things adjusting and moving around inside. When they say that our body and DNA is physically shifting and changing, I feel that I'm really actually experiencing that. It's sometimes a very unusual thing and very unusual sensations. But so a foggy, hazy vision, sort of a snow-covered vision, which I used to talk about for years and years and years since I was like a teenager, and I remember friends being like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But now I'm seeing a lot of people talking about it, and I'm certainly noticing an increased amount of that consistently to my own experience. And the color overlays typically are really ranging from a light purpley, lilac-y haze, some bluish haze, a green haze at times. But particularly in the sky, it's pinky peachy, purpley colors that are sort of hazy and overlaid that you're seeing a lot. And vision can seem blurred at times. What else? You know what? I've got a whole bunch of stuff, but
I got a picture of a purple sky with pink puffy clouds.
well, I think my
About a year
video.
ago, when I stopped seeing the lines, and I started noticing that my skies have changed. They're absolutely gorgeous, and it's like we say, what happens, what I say, that what's going on in the micro, it will reflect around us in the macro, and
That's what we're
it's
seeing.
wonderful. It's wonderful. I mean, I want this for everybody. I want it for everybody,
I'm really seeing the results of that, and I think a lot more people are. And I think each wave of energy that is coming in, which is coming sort of in more rapidly, it's hitting us with stronger and stronger blasts, and sort of we're plateauing at higher and higher levels. And our experience, though, we can get sudden blasts and bursts. It's not all this big change at once, but that change is really picking up in intensity. I really thought about a few months ago, and I did a meditation, and with all of us on the beach, and all of us coming together from all different parts, of the world, and coming together on the same beach, and then, holding hands and walking towards the water and looking out over the horizon, towards the new earth in essence. And us all walking into the waves, and, at first they're just lapping up on your ankles and then your shins, and you go in deeper. But as you get deeper, you feel the swell of the wave more, and you feel the swell, start to pick you up, and whoa at times. And, that's when you'd have to hold a little tighter to your partner's, hand. And by doing that, as the waves, do get more powerful, in an effort to really transform us and wash through us, wash away this 3D construct, so we can emerge on the other side in this 5D living experience. And I think I'm really feeling that came to me a lot this week. And I even went back to it in my notes, and really thinking of how we've progressed together from that point. And back in the beginning, in March, in February, March, when it first started coming in awareness for a lot of us, though there was a lot of debate about when it was going to happen and what was going to happen. A lot of us did know something did happen, even when others were saying nothing did. And
Right.
I think that was us literally starting out on that beach, and just and feeling the touch of that water, and we're progressing to what I think will be in the fall, where those of us that have started out on that beach together will emerge at that point, together on this new beach.
Holding hands.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it, because on our own, to wade through those waves that are so powerful, when they do get that powerful, you could get washed away, or taken away in the undercurrent. But by holding together, we get through it. When one is weakened or tired by taking the power of the waves. Another is there to
Strengthen them
hold
up.
that energy, hold the hand and hold that energy, hold the line.
There's logic behind that, Michelle. Think about it. If we're trudging across, okay, if we're all holding hands, we're much stronger than we would be trying to do it on our own.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's our light work with grid, you know, and yeah, so that really came to me powerfully this week, that visualization and connection that we have on this journey. And I think recognizing and feeling that when you talked about that slip, you know, when you were waking up and it was like, whoop, whoop.
It was like dizzy falling back, whoop.
Yeah. And when, you know, when it being hit by these, you know, this weekend and last weekend, really almost feeling like that wave hits you and does woo, you really feel that sometimes. And I've been feeling these slippages, you know, these reality slippages of, I don't know what, of being here and not, or just a half a moment in time. And I think that's the shift too. I've been noticing the really placed affirmation, synchronistic affirmations for me upon waking in the morning to acknowledge that shift up. I really think that when we are sleeping, you know, we're taking that day and then and the work that's coming in at night is transforming us every time we wake in the morning. And and then I'm seeing the affirmations all around to say, you woke up at the perfectly divine time today.
Yes.
Right? You know, you did that in perfect divine timing. You thought of that in perfect divine timing. And we're going to show you that in different ways to prove it. So that's a beautiful experience I've been noticing.
Nice. And it is like that. The universe is always talking. And some people, you know, there's just different ways that we tune in. It's just a matter of tuning in and then getting the messages, and it's unique for you. You know, I know a lot of people like that music bot Sam. Well, you know what? If you're communicating and you're getting the messages, good. Other people have different methods. It's all, it's just.
I can tell you, can I tell you a story?
Sure.
Actually,
Michelle.
that's another thing that I really noticed this week and made notes on was because I used to have that experience all the time, turn on the radio and that, you know, that song come on. And so I really resonate with that idea and that the music can speak through you. And if you make a practice of that, of recognition and awareness of it, then it will certainly speak to you more. But it's also not the only way that you can do it. And I find with my awareness and intention now, the songs come, you know how the songs just pop into your head? And my awareness of that ability is doing that for you. So I don't need to turn on the radio to hear the song that I need to hear at that time. And it's almost like tuning my own radio dial. And I can do that within meditation. And I've had some beautiful experiences of having the song, you know, just come in so powerfully and clearly and passionately, like it's being sung to me. So I think, you know, I'd be curious to see if anybody's noticed that you know, with those songs coming and popping, I can't get it out of my head. It's just another way for Sam.
And you know how we always say, oh, now that song is stuck in my head. You know,
but
they come like that for no reason. You just be like, all of a sudden a song will come to your mind. So and then it does get stuck in your head.
An awareness. Now, if you suddenly realize and are aware that that's your Sam radio dial, well, then you would start to pay more attention. Okay, well, what is that song? And you listen, and then it'll start to play out in your head and play out for you. So it's kind of like stopping for a minute and listening to the radio. You know, it keeps playing over because it has something to say to you, I think. So yeah, that's been my have a moment of intuition on that, and then have really noticed results with it. So it's been a fun experience. Increased hot
Mhm.
flashes again too. That kind of laid up for a little while, but then last week it was like in with that. Not this weekend, last weekend, and through that, it's slowed down. I think a little bit again now, but I think with that last wave energy coming in right for that end of the month, the 27th, really starting 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, it was just like building, building, building. I would notice specific hot flashes, not in even the whole body, but in specific areas. I think that were getting worked on. So I think there was a lot of detailed um, you know, detail touches being done. It's
Mhm.
like a bodice scene, when you go back to do it, retighten the bodice and you go back to the bottom and you got to retighten it again and you keep tweaking.
Mhm.
I've really been feeling that experience, that it was really from the end of the month there, the 26th, moving forward was really tweaking and adjusting from that first chakra to really pick it up with the second. That was really hard. I really felt like a lot of like cords of attached energy that were like, that's it, they were ripped out at that point. So a week ago, the lower back pain, hip, and it was really difficult for me, and I know it was for a lot of people, especially about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. People were really experienced a lot of the nausea and lower back pain. So
Mm.
a lot yeah, of results on that. I
And
don't
when
know that
we
you
tell
did.
each other that we're going to send energy, we're basically we're saying we're going to connect with you to give you strength, and therefore, as we're talking about going hand in hand through the waves, it's kind of the same thing. It kind of lightens the load off of that person because you're kind of taking some of it onto yourself. You see what I mean? It's like a domino effect, and that's how much we help one another out in when we are, out doing things or, like what I was doing last week. I was getting a lot of help from you guys here, sending healing energy and prayer and meditation was helping me get through what I needed to get through for the speedy recovery that I got to witness. So it is about all of us working in concert and in harmony together. Is everything going well in the chat? Remember, guys, those are real people behind those names, so let's all be nice to each other.
Oh,
Um, is there anybody that has any questions for Michelle today? If you do, at my name or Michelle, do you have the chat up for yourself? Are you able to see it?
I
Because if
just
they,
really, it wasn't refreshing, so I don't know what's going on. It's not
okay, just at my name, so then I can read it to her. So that way,
to try it on
I'll be able to
another
see it.
device.
So it'll stand out. It'll stand out so I can, yeah, see it. Okay, go on, Michelle, because I like that analogy, the holding hands through the waves, because that's what it's like. We are so much stronger when we're united and we're going through this together, and we're only as strong as our weakest link. So it is important for everybody to raise up into their leadership role and take their position, do their inner work that needs to be done. And like she was just given the analogy of retightening, sometimes we revisit things back because we may have passed in the general scheme of things, but it's kind of like a winding staircase. You may
Yes,
think you're going back over the same thing again, but it's not. It's
it's
a
an
different
upward spiral.
perspective. Yes, it's a different
Yes,
perspective. It's a different vantage, and it is to make sure you're clear. So you may not get just a full clean out. You will clear out over. It's a process, and so be kind to yourself and patient with yourself as these things are happening, and don't think you're alone. Oh my gosh, it's happening to. I am just loving seeing how many people are compared to where I was when this all started. I felt very isolated and alone. I'm not alone in that myself. I know that there's a lot of people that felt that they were alone in this, and have people and channels popping up. It's just wonderful. And so many people, like it seems like 2015, 2016, there was a huge wave of influx of people that, popped into this awareness. Isn't that around the time that the Mandela and flat earth thing started taking root? Not sure what year those did, but that seemed to be a big, and those things crossed all borders. They didn't care, you know, what color your skin was, what your religious, what your political beliefs, what country you're in. Whoa, it's blinking. Did you see that, Michelle?
Yeah, that is strange.
Does that sometimes? I gotta be
What is that?
careful. I'll pull it back a little bit. Light words. Rah. Sorry. I can't even hear you. Oh no, okay. I forgot. I'm watching on the other screen. So as we're coming up together, we're, you know, what I was saying was it just seemed like there was a huge surge, and it crossed all kind of man-made barriers that are in place that try to divide us, and it seems like it's bringing us all together, not in the way that we ever thought of, or, you know, but this crosses all boundaries, and it's touching everybody's lives in a good way. And the only things that I've seen, like in dream time and things like that, are this paradise type place that we're heading to. If people want gizmos and gadgets, the gizmos and gadgets will be there. We won't fear them. If they want an all natural, you know, that will be there too. I mean, it's just an amazing time that we're all going through, and we're not alone in this. Lyra said maybe upstairs are watching. They're giving their approval on the messages that we're giving out today. That happened just a couple times with the flickers. So yeah, that's possible. That's very possible, Michelle. That means that the message we're giving is good, and
Always. Oh yeah. There's a crowd.
timely.
They're always
Yeah,
watching. Yeah.
they are, and they
I
do
think
try
it's
to
a
make
great time
themselves.
to remind yourself all the, you know, keep reminding yourself, I'm supported, I'm loved, I'm supported, I'm loved, I'm supported, and you know, and you're a master, and yeah,
Just to
you'll
be
really
an
feel it.
everyday master to start, you know, master the day, take it day by day, moment by moment, live in the now, you know, it's just
Mhm.
amazing time to be alive. A lot of people, even if you say the word master, they recoil. I don't understand it, but you know, if it makes you feel better to hear it be called an everyday master, be an everyday master. But
Well,
as you go through,
mastery is something. It's the mastery of
it's
something.
not a bad word. No.
No, I mean, as an artist, you know, I always admired that about some cultures that perfect experiences, even simple ones like pouring tea. Um, they create a mastery, and it's an art. Um, doing, you know, doing something so well, it's done, you know, artistically, can make any experience, you know, divine. So I consider mastery that it's a quest for, um, you know, being able to create something with such artistic grace and expression, that it's divine. Yeah. So you know, it's how what we attach to words. We're just letters, and really is, you know, our thought process that we attach to them, and then yeah, you're right. That's, you know, what, then that's how you see it represented around you. So mhm.
Did you see a big push like in 2015, 2016 of a bunch of people waking up? I mean, did you witness that yourself? Michelle, are you there?
To my head up my own ass.
Where are you at? Where'd you go? Huh? There you
Did I
are.
disappear?
Oh, you're buffering.
Now it's, oh.
Let me see what you look like on the there. Well, yeah, you're moving. You're just on the Google Hangout. You're froze,
You hear me?
but you're moving on the YouTube, so it's all good.
Okay. Moving and grooving.
We're breaking the computer, you guys.
Yeah. Well, it keeps worrying me when I see it doing stuff, because it's been thunderstorming like crazy since just before we started. So when it was doing that before, I was like, oh. I thought,
Didn't that happen last time we came on? You had over. It was overcast, and you were about to get hit with a storm. I
yeah,
think.
well, it's been nonstop. I like all week, and I think that's another result of that energy being able to come in through the magnetosphere. Now, you're seeing an increased amount of lightning. Like every day I check a variety of different sites for the the weather anomalies, the the space news, all kinds of different things, just to see the different energies that are coming in, and the amount of electricity, like lightning, that's just going on. It's like, and then boom, all of a sudden, 5 minutes, it's a thunderstorm, and then it's gone again. So it's been doing that all week and a half now, and it's a little much. And I know there's a lot of people getting a lot of thunderstorms, crazy thunderstorms, hail.
I've been trying to keep up with Mr. MBB333, and he's been talking about the uptick in lightning strikes. That it's just huge anomaly. Right. Okay, but we are at an hour, and you guys, thank you all for coming. And I want to remind you, we have that launch party tomorrow at 4:00 Pacific Standard Time. It'll be here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how long we're going to go. I normally like to keep it at an hour, but we may go a little longer than that because it's a launch party. So, yeah, and all of Michelle's information is in the show more notes. So I do recommend that you subscribe to her channel. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe here. We love you guys so much.
I want to throw it a little quick thing, because I've changed my channel name, which I was intending to do, to Imagination Warrior. But I'm realizing that a lot of people that have subscribed don't realize. So when they're seeing the notifications coming up, they don't realize it's me. So it's not Michelle M Wolfe on the channel anymore. If you see Imagination Warrior come up on your notifications, it's me. So I'm going to make sure I'm putting that out there. I'm going to remind people tomorrow.
Yes,
I don't want to let anybody know before I just go
in the show more notes are both of the names, her name and her new channel name with the link. Also, she is found on my homepage, and it already updated her new channel name, and there it just shows her as her new channel name, the Imagination Warrior. So, all right, okay, hold on the line with me, Michelle, just for a few minutes, if you don't mind, and I will get this done for these guys, and